Hey, it's Aaron, Metal Theologian. All right, so I don't have a topic tonight. I don't know what the hell to talk about except like I've listened to a lot of rap still, right? So I could like show how much I don't know about the likes of Conway the Machine or Jedi Mind Tricks or something like that. But instead, we're gonna do 5 random records. It's been a while since we've done this shit. In fact, it's been long enough that I rearranged the records, so I have to come up with a new like system for how to handle the rolls. So it's these. Let's see, 4 by 4 by. Okay, so 32 cubes. So here's what we're gonna do. We're just trying to keep this random, right? We're not gonna cheat. I've never cheated on 5 random records either. I've like shown extra shit in that, but fuck, I just broke my little box here too for the fucking dice. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Oh shit. It's sort of like percentile dice here. All right. So we have one 10-sided one. That's like for the single digit, and then for the tens, we're gonna use this 4-sided die. Check this shit out. You know, it's funny. I have these D&D dice. You'd think I play, but I haven't played D&D since well, since before I quit smoking weed. I'll just leave it there. All right. Yeah. So here we go. Let's see how this goes. Goddamn, I feel super punchy today for some reason, man. It's weird when I can't have like my kid like shows. I don't know, man. One of the things I still haven't gotten used to since Spencer moved out. What can I tell you? All right. So I have 21. By the way, if I get a 4 on the 4-sided die, I'll just roll it again. Okay. So now I have to figure out how we're gonna do this actually. 16. Let's go across in these sections. That's how they are anyway. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So here we go. Out of this one. And hopefully we'll pull something out that I'll be able to say something intelligent about. Alright, you know something? This is a pretty good one. So this is the Satan Serenade 12-inch by Quartz. This is the best Quartz record. Okay? And I say this even though side 2 of this is like a really fucking stupid Chuck Berry medley. Didn't say what it is. It's not even a medley. It's just Roll Over Beethoven with a guitar solo. But Satan's Serenade and Bloody Fool though are bangers, man. Like this probably should have been like a 7-inch 45. It's a really good record, man. It has the best fucking cover they ever did too, right? I mean, look at that, you know. I mean, Stand Up and Fight was pretty good too. I'll give it its due. Let's see if I can find that one. Yeah. You know, that's not bad. That's a record you'd buy. That's a good record. It's not like an incredible record, but it's a very solid, you know, fun to listen to record. But this one's actually pretty fantastic. So if you get a chance to get this, last time I checked, it wasn't that expensive either, because I don't think anyone really gives a shit about Quartz. All right. Hey, by the way, as I mentioned in my last video, I had a visitor from Perth not too long ago, Mr. Chris Rankin from Chris Rankin Music Crush. I understand there's a contingent of people in Perth who like watch my videos. So there's a big shout out to the Perth chapter of the Metal Theologian fan club. It's kind of a joke. I don't know who's a fan club, but like, shout out to Perth. You guys rule. And fucking Trilogy's great too. Maybe I'll pull that out. Yeah, here we go, man. These guys are from Perth. It's a great record, too. All right. So, yeah, Satan's Serenade is a good fucking record, man. Quartz was kind of a funny band. I mean, they're like new wave of British heavy metal, right? New album, right? But, you know, some of those bands were older bands that kind of hung around for a while and sort of adapted to the new thing. And most of them probably were actually like new bands that sort of founded, you know, formed themselves between like 78 and 80-ish, something like that, you know, 76 maybe. Um, one of the notable exceptions of a band that didn't do that, that was just sort of hung around, was Budgie. I actually think that Budgie, after the first 5 or so records, kind of went to shit a little bit on like, If I Were Britannia, I'd Waive the Rules and Impeccable. But then the first record they did, oh, what the fuck is it called? I'm spacing out. The one with like the robot Budgie guy in the cover here, Power Supply, I think it is. That's a really good record, and the If Swallowed Do Not Induce Vomiting EP is really good. And then they kind of went to shit again, like Night Flight was kind of AOR, and then Deliver Us From Evil was just total crap. So, and then Gillan, Ian Gillan kind of did his thing a little bit in that sort of vein. So, anyway, the reason this relates to Quartz is because Quartz, as far as I know, they didn't have any early. I mean, their first record's like '77, so they were early. Let me check. This record's actually pretty lame. Yeah, 77. This is a Back on Black reissue. Nothing really special there. Yeah, but they really sounded like they had been around for a while. There were just sort of certain things about their sound. Like the singers had a really sort of 70s tone to them. That sort of earnestness you sort of hear, as opposed to like sort of the thinner, like not necessarily as great singers that most of the new album bands had. And so they had the sort of feeling of being like a little bit older than a lot of the contemporaries, but they were pretty good overall. Again, not the best of the lot, but not bad at all. All right, so let's go for the next one. Let's see if I can count to 5. All right, I got a 1 and a 1, so we're going for number 11. All right. 10, 11. Oh man, I just showed this one not too long ago. This is a great fucking record, man. This is Heller from Yugoslavia. At least that's what it was at the time. Yeah, actually a Belgrade address too, so looks like they're actually Serbian. Anyway, this is like a speedy sort of really sort of rough around the edges kind of record, but it really scratches the itch, man. It's just aggressive and kind of fierce, and the songs are good, and it's not too long for its own good. And look at this fucking guy right here, man. Come on, whatever he's selling, I'm buying, right? Look at these fucking guys. That guy with his upside down cross and his studs and shit. Hell yeah, man. Fucking titles in a foreign language that I can barely pronounce, if at all. Yeah, that's a good sign, man. Let me show the label on this one, too. This is 89, which is a little bit late for metal of this caliber, I suppose, because this definitely isn't like death metal or anything like that yet. It's fast, but it's more sort of in the speed thrash vein. Oh, let's say I don't have to do that. But but for Eastern Bloc stuff, which tended to be a couple years behind, 89 is actually pretty early. So don't let that scare you away. And yeah, Ghost House Records. Oh, there we go. Look at that. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot of stories and that sort of thing about this record. Not like with some of them, but this record is a banger. Yeah, the covers kind of seen better days, but this is a hard record to find over here. It's absolutely fantastic, man. Yeah, Yugoslavia didn't really produce a whole ton of bands, but they didn't have quite the restrictions that a lot of the other sort of Soviet countries had, because Yugoslavia was kind of its own thing politically anyway, they had Tito, but Tito didn't always play nice with Stalin and shit, so, they tended to not be, sort of as clamped down. And you saw it in the 70s too. There were, again, it wasn't like a ton of bands coming out of Yugoslavia, but there were a couple of really good ones, like Igra Stakleni Perli was one that was sort of like definitely kind of proggy, but they almost sounded like Pink Floyd at times, you know what I mean? Like in that sort of caliber of psychedelic rock, you know what I mean? Like the good Pink Floyd, not like the shitty records like Dark Side of the Fucking Moon. Alright, now I'm just being a dick. But like metal, right? That's definitely my favorite Pink Floyd album is Metal. And more like Saucer Full of Secrets, like that kind of shit. Look at that guy right there too, by the way. Yeah, another one was Fire. They made a record called Can You Understand Me, which is a little bit heavier. You know, again, not a super heavy one, but it's a cool 70s hard rock record, you know? And I think it's been reissued relatively recently, too. Anyway, so yeah. There are people who actually know about this shit, like Lee over at the Noise Spectrum channel. He rarely uploads. When he does, it's always a banger. But he actually knows the old Yugoslav scene in a way that I totally don't. So I'll defer to that fucking guy on this thing because some of those records are really awesome. Don't snooze on the former Yugoslavia. All right, here we go. Third one. All right, 10 is what we got this time. All right, so here we go. It's really easy to do this with a cameraman. Oh, here we go, man. A fucking classic. Gravedigger. Witch Hunter. I don't have the same sort of deep and abiding, long-term relationship with this record that I do with Heavy Metal Breakdown. That's kind of the defining Gravedigger record for me. But if you like that record and you haven't heard this one, what are you waiting for? Because this one's really, by any sort of objective metric, this is probably just as good. This guy's pants are definitely entertaining. And, yeah, again, I can't go song by song on this one as well either, but it's a cool record, man, with a nice kind of semi-shitty looking cover. Definitely has some German energy, that cover, right? And it just maintains the sound, you know what I mean? This isn't like that Digger shit. There's no selling out or, any weirdness going on. Speaking of weirdness going on, look at this. This whole thing is black and white, except for that weird, shape thing inside the Celtic Frost logo. Looks like someone went over it with a highlighter or something, maybe, but I don't know. And if they were, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Once upon a time, I made a video about all these records. Yeah, unfortunately, they do an Alice Cooper cover on this thing, which honestly I don't remember. I haven't played this in a while. I don't remember it, and that probably speaks well for it because, yeah, Megadeth's cover of Anarchy in the UK does not ever slip my mind when I'm talking about that third album. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I don't remember this one probably speaks well for it. Where was this one? Oh fuck, I can clean these up when I'm done, I suppose. But what fun would that be? Anyway, man, Gravedigger's awesome. I mean, what's really kind of special about Gravedigger, too, if you ask me, is the way they sort of played in that sort of medium-paced metal space. When most of the German bands are going with full-on, the speed thrash thing. I want to say, a lot of that shit was considered black metal back in its day, right? The, early Destruction, early Sodom and shit like that. People called that black metal back in, 84, 85. Obviously, that's not what black metal is today. But Gravedigger wasn't really sort of playing along with that. They just sort of did their own thing where they were definitely heavy, you know what I mean? They had that sort of pounding heaviness, not so much the pure, speed, And I kind of appreciate them sticking to their guns through at least that second record. I've actually never heard the third one, War Games. Let me flip this one. Yeah, this is what's playing now, by the way. You know what else is kind of funny? That's because I'm not sampling through all these records, obviously, but that record that I just showed, I know exactly where the inner is. I'm not going to be fumbling around for it. I usually spend half my videos fucking doing it, so. Looking for the inner. All right. Not 4. It's number 4. It's the 4th record I'm showing. we got another 1. 17. So that's going to be this guy right here. So you can see I'm pulling the shit live, so I can't really tell him by feel. Unless I pull Talking Book by Stevie Wonder. Because it has the braille on it. But that's not over here in the metal section. Oh, shit. Okay, this is what I was afraid of. You know something? I don't remember this one at all. This is one of these Cult Metal Classics ones. It's like a demo they reissued. And I got a couple of these at once just to check them out. I remember thinking this one was okay. I mean, I definitely didn't dislike it. And you can take my word for that, because if I had hated it, I probably would have made a video where I like struggled to find a reason to like it, and it was basically a piece of shit anyway. Yeah, I remember this one being decent, but I don't really have anything intelligent to say about it. I don't remember. I don't even know where they're from. I think they're American, but I'm not sure. No, it probably says on the inside, but fuck it, I don't care. So we're gonna call that one a junk ball, I guess. And this next one's gonna be number 4. Unless I get a few of those in a row, in which case I'll just fucking concede to the metal gods. Oh, I got a 4. Look at that, I have to roll again. The other one's a 6. Well shit, now I got a 36, so I gotta roll again. Come on, don't be a dick. Well, I just thought of something. The way I'm doing this, it's not possible for me to get 1 through 10. Well, shit. Okay, so we'll take that 4, and we'll just go for number 6. It'll do. That's what a 4 is now. I just sort of decreed that. It's funny that I just think of that now, but, you know, what can I say, man? I'm not like, you know... This isn't exactly, the math theologian's channel or anything like that. Alright. So, it's always fun to say that a band sounds like what they look like. And, yeah. This is really kind of a knuckle dragger of a record. And you know something, this is the second time I've had this. The first time I had this, I thought it was kind of stupid and I let it go. And then I kind of missed it, and I gave it another chance, and I kind of love it now. I think you probably have a hard time finding a song title more cringe than Incest Love. But you know, you have Fall Under His Command and The Call of Steel and Long to Hell, whatever that means. Yeah, these guys were Belgian. And I gotta say, Belgium pretty much delivers when it comes to like kind of boneheaded like 80s metal. You know, they had these guys, they had Killer, they had fucking... You know, there were some few that were a little bit smarter. Hell, these guys were from Belgium, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, this is really kind of a gem, man. I mean, it's, you know, it's a speed metal record or thrash. I don't know, whatever. One of those two. I'm still not convinced there's any difference. Yeah, it's 86. And, you know, this isn't, you're not going to be getting rid of your copy of Master of Puppets over this record. But this is really kind of a fun one. And last time I checked, it wasn't that expensive either. It's like there are a lot of them out there, and there are a lot of people. They pressed a lot of these, and there were a lot of people who didn't give a shit about it. So it was cheap for a long time. And I don't know, man, it's just kind of pretty, it's kind of a cool, like, meathead, like, just, like, banger of a record, you know? It's pretty fast. It sounds thick and heavy. I mean, it sounds like these fucking mustaches, you know? And so, yeah, if you want to know what a bunch of Belgians with mustaches made a fucking thrash record, this is what they're capable of delivering at the very least, so. Yeah, Brutal Destruction by Cyclone is, it's kind of a gem. You know, kind of a low-key gem, but, kind of a gem nonetheless. Alright, so that was the fourth one, right? And now if I get another 4, I'm going to call it a 0. Alright, here we go. Here's the 5th one. Alright, 3 and 2. So 23, 16, 21, 2, 3. That's convenient right here. You want me to like see the things so you can see I'm not peeking? That's funny. When I looked a second ago, I saw the St. Vitus records. I had to sort of flip back and forth and see if I could lose them. All right, here's another record that I got because a lot of other people like it. I have heard very good things about this record. Actually, separately, I had heard very good things about this record, Within the Prophecy by Sacrilege. This one, Behind the Realms of Madness. And also this one, Turn Back Trilobite. But I gotta say, none of these records ever really spoke to me. In fact, this one might be sealed. Yeah, alright, well there you go. I'm not gonna be saying anything intelligent about Turn Back Trilobite. Oops. But Within the Prophecy just never really blew my mind, and neither did this one. This one's a lot more sort of like almost a punk record. You know, it kind of has that vibe, and part of what I was curious about this one originally is because it's on this Children of the Revolution label, which is the same as the first Onslaught record. I mean, I just didn't find it to be all that memorable. It's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, again, if these were terrible, I'd remember that. But these guys just never really made much of an impression on me. Now, there was probably a time when I might have said something similar about Cyclone. Well, these guys clearly had a higher budget for their cover art. Yeah, this is a Hammerheart reissue. Yeah, I don't remember what the original label was. I think this was a Metal Blade, but I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah. Sacrilege. At least that Sacrilege never really made much of an impression on me. I just didn't think they were that interesting. It's funny, I thought I had more than one Sacrilege in here, but looks like there's just that one. That seems like kind of an obvious name for a metal band, doesn't it? Sacrilege. Yeah, I wish I could recommend them, but I kind of can't. This one right next to it. Torment and Fire. Now this one, I don't have the second one. This is another one that, like, at first didn't really make much of an impression on me. Then I came back to it and went, holy fuck, what was I thinking the first time? That record rules. God damn. Maybe someday I'll do it with Sacrilege, but it hasn't happened yet. I got 38. We only have 32. So we'll roll this bad boy again. Alright, it's number 8 we've got here. So, alright. I think this is the 5th one then, actually, since I didn't count that Messiax one. Okay, there's another one that actually took me a while to come around on. Look at this fucking guy right here. You know what these guys look like? They look like these are the guys who work at the record store. And this is the guy who owns the place. And he's kind of a dick. You know? Not like really shitty, but just like a little bit of a dick. Like you kind of would rather deal with these 3 guys than with this one right here, you know? That's my Egypt headcanon. This is another band from the UK. You can call these guys new wave British heavy metal if you want, but I'll probably like laugh at you behind your back if you do, because this record's 88, which is way too late to be new wave of anything. These guys have a really unusual sound, though. It's sort of this thin, like really sort of piercing guitar tone. The very first song on here is a cover of Crazy Horses, which is kind of a bold move, and one that, I mean, having your first song be a cover is generally a bad sign, like Into the Pandemonium, or even worse, the Ethel the Frog album with Eleanor Rigby at the beginning. I don't know if it's because Crazy Horses is just such a great song. Yes, the Osmonds, Crazy Horses. If it's because that's such a great song, or just because they do it so well, but that really goes right by. And it doesn't like make you go, oh fuck, I really don't want to hear this record now, you know? Yeah, I haven't played it in a while, man, but this is a really good record. It's one that really grew on me a lot, and one that I'm glad I held on to over the years. I just noticed this guy's name is Eric the Bastard. That's awesome. You know who else was known as the Bastard? Was William the Bastard. Then he came to be known as William the Conqueror after he went and conquered a bunch of shit. That's a true story, actually. That's gonna be funny. This guy Alan Fish, he's gonna leave a comment on the video saying something like, "Yeah, you know, I did my own record store for a few years, and I was kind of a dick. I'm not really proud of it now, but you got me." That'd be funny, right? No, they're probably fine people. Got no beef with any of them. It's kind of a funny cover with the bat, like hanging upside down like that. And the, Anyway, really good record, man. Yeah, it's kind of a cool one to randomly pull out Egypt. I think they had a single as well, like at least one, maybe two, but it was just stuff off the album. So if you have that record, you probably have All You Need by Egypt. All right, so that's 5. We're gonna do one more though, just because I feel like it. It's been a while since I made a fucking video, and 7 and 4. Okay, so number 7 is the cube we're going for now. All right, this one. This is another one that didn't make much of an impression on me. This is Despair. It's kind of a late one for German metal. It's a good record, as I recall. I seem to recall these guys being kind of on the technical side. I actually have played this thing a few times, but yeah, it's funny, like with that Messiax one, or whatever it's called, that one just didn't make an impression at all. These other ones, like, I really tried to let it make an impression on me. This one and the Sacrilege one too, but yeah, History of Hate, I think it's their first album. I'm looking for the date. This one's relatively late too. I want to say it's like 88, 89, 90, somewhere in there. Yeah, it looks like 88. You know, it's not a bad record. I never mind putting this on and listening to it. I should have another one by them too. Yeah, I think this is the 3rd one, and then there's one more. There's a Century Media. This one's 92. So there's part of it that thinks, well, it's Century Media, so clearly we're in the modern era now, but it's still a 30-year-old record, you know? I don't know, man. I heard really good things about them. I always kind of wanted to like them more than I did. But they just never blew me away. They have a reputation for being really sort of, you know, technical and kind of weird, and I wonder if they're too into like the technical thing for my taste. You know, it's funny, when I think technical, I tend to think of like Voivod, because the shit's so weird and so jagged. Like, that's technical to me. But like a band like that though, or like the later Death Row, like Deception Ignored, where it's just like, I don't know, it's a different kind of technical. It's one of those things that makes me think about the shortcomings of language, because it feels like we're not quite talking about the same thing, even though we kind of are, but we're kind of not. We're gonna do one more, just I feel like it. That's kind of a bummer to end on. Alright, 27. This is 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Is that right? No, it's not. Yeah, I'm off by a row. Oh, well, here we go, man. I'm a recent convert to this record, okay? For the longest time, I thought Thor was just kind of bullshit, because I had this record. Not that anyone ever told me that this was a good record, because this record's pretty much terrible. And I grabbed this one because it was kind of a cool, like, weird-looking test press, you know, with a fucking piece of cardboard that came with it and shit. But this record, man, this is legitimately, like, a great, like, sort of heroic, like, kind of epic metal record. It's funny, Thunder on the Tundra sounds so dumb, but, like, if you're listening to the album and it gets there, like, you'll totally buy it into it by the time you get there. Because maybe the wording is a little bit corny, but the spirit of it is pure, like, you know, like, fist in the air type of metal. So, yeah, this is the kind of shit that I really like. Don't let that band photo scare you off either, because everything you think about this photo, everything that you think sucks about it is actually what makes it awesome. And yeah, man, this is a banger, and I just discovered this one really within the last year or so. I'm trying to remember. It might have actually been Chromie D who convinced me to give this thing a chance. But yeah, if you're gonna get one Thor record, it ought to be this one. So this is a pretty good one to end on, man. That one's a fucking banger. All right, so that's it for tonight, man. As always, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Maybe we'll do this again next time. It's fun. It's been a while. All right, take care.